All right. College football.
Bingo.
Andrew's turf.
Week 10.
Week 10. We are flying.
They called it like Standout Saturday. It was a little disappointing, but
Before we get into it, PSO Sports on Facebook. PSO Sports on Instagram and Twitter.
Chase, you all right?
Polar Sports Opinions, Facebook, YouTube, SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Twitch TV, and everything else. Just type it in. We're there.
We need to put that on Linktree.
Yes,
Twitch
we do.
thing.
Yes. Oh, yeah. We didn't talk about that. We have talked about that, actually. If we have a link tree on our Twitter and our Facebook, or Instagram.
It's so easy.
Yeah.
It's so
you literally
easy
can get to everything.
You just click on it, and then you can click on something else, and you're there.
Yeah, we're gonna put the Twitch in there. It's really easy. It's like the easiest thing ever. You can get to anything we're on from the link tree on Twitter and Instagram.
Yeah.
College football this time not over the phone.
Andrew, take us away. It's
Live
good to
and in
see
person.
you right next to me.
It's
great.
The college football master is in the building. What do we got?
all right. So starting off with the SEC, the divisions were decided in the earliest, I think, in history. I'm pretty confident saying that. But Week 10, we already know who's playing the championship. Alabama wins 29-0 on LSU. Did anyone expect anything differently? I thought it'd be more competitive. I thought LSU would give them a better game, but
That game sucked.
it was bad.
Shut out, man.
Just boring, too, for both teams. Nothing.
Like
it was
LSU ran for
boring.
like 14 yards.
Turn that stuff on at Applebee's. I don't want to watch that shit. I'm drinking.
LSU was, like Mizzou, Arkansas scored 31 on Alabama. LSU couldn't get a point. And, they're, trying to settle for field goals down 20. LSU's a mess. I just expected more. That just shows how good Alabama's been this year.
Yep. And they're going to win the championship.
I would not say it, because the one thing with Nick Saban, he hasn't won an undefeated national title since Greg McElroy.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Both years with A.J. McCarron, they lost a game. With Jacob Coker, they lost a game.
This is probably their best team.
It probably is.
This might be the best team of all time.
Well,
I don't know.
I wouldn't put that there yet.
I'm not well versed enough in college football.
Quarterback didn't play into the fourth quarter.
I think at least it's this right now the second best this decade behind 2013 Florida State. That team was
really good too.
That team was loaded, but yeah, they're probably winning out. Georgia, they beat Kentucky. That was anyone expect anything different? That was Kentucky. They scored 17. It just should have been like 10.
Kentucky's getting ready for basketball. They don't care about football.
Yeah, it's basketball in Kentucky. You got your fluke win over Mizzou. And Georgia's closest game was an SEC East team, 14-point win at Missouri, and Missouri should have won that game, but it sucks. They clinched the East for the second consecutive year, and there's an interesting pattern since Mizzou's joined the conference. It started with Georgia winning 2 division titles, and then Mizzou won 2, Florida won 2, Georgia won 2, so Mizzou's up for 2 in a row.
That's weird.
Yeah, it's really weird. Sticking on Missouri, they blew out Florida.
Number 11 ranked Florida, by the way.
They were overrated, but...
Yeah, like what?
Yeah, they're not that good. Mizzou beat them 38-17. Drew Lock, 24-32, 250 yards, 3 touchdowns. Passes Chris Leak, Tim Tebow in the swamp, and Peyton Manning, third all-time in touchdowns in the SEC with 90.
Jesus,
wow.
That's a lot of names.
I did not know that.
A lot of people saying he struggled against good defense. It's kind of a myth. Overall, Missouri's been bad against better teams, but they've still scored points except Alabama. They scored 30 on Georgia.
I feel like he just struggles when he struggles. It's not like anything,
This year, his stats, his completion percentage is up 5 points. His yards of attempts down a little bit, but without Emmanuel Hall, Emmanuel Hall has been on the, he played this week. It wasn't close. Missouri went in and just beat him down, ran the ball on him through whenever they wanted. Mm-hmm. Florida, this is no team had this many yards on Florida since Eli Manning at Ole Miss.
Wow.
Or in the swamp.
Wow.
Yeah, and
what do you think he is in terms of the quarterback prospects? Where do you put him?
Well, I don't know. This game was probably his most impressive game because there's a lot of times.
Yeah, this might.
He ran a lot of RPOs where there's defensive linemen in his face. He had different arm angles thrown, and this was his best game, complete game, I guess. I like him probably second or third. Herbert, Greer, Locke, in some order, those three. Ryan Finley, NC State's a bust. Like he's a bust. But the guy from Buffalo's good also. Tyree Jackson, I think's his name. He's a big prospect. He's pretty.
Never
good
even
also.
heard of him, but he won me $20 this week. So.
He's pretty good. Yeah, but those three of the main three guys are all going to be first-round picks this year. I don't know where Locko is yet, but he's going to put up big numbers this last month. They played Vanderbilt, Tennessee, and Arkansas. They're putting up huge numbers this last month. And Barry Odom is 7-2 in November.
Oh, wow.
He's the new coach. So
You think this game kept his job, too?
I don't know.
Because that Kentucky game, people were getting pissed after it.
I was pissed after the South Carolina game, but I've kind of came back to, like, I don't know who they're going to hire that's better than Barry Odom right now.
That's the thing.
And Barry Odom wants to be at Mizzou. And this
He's
team,
passionate. Yeah,
this
he's
team's
passionate
improved
coach.
from last year. Like, even they lost to Alabama by 29. They've competed in every single game since Auburn last year. Like, they got blown by Auburn by a week. But then the last 18 games or whatever it is, 12, 15, whatever it is, they've competed in every single game. They don't, like, even the Georgia game I went to, they stuck with Georgia for 60 minutes and no team in the East even did that. Like, I like Odom. I went on that rant earlier saying he should be fired. Left on the
You said you didn't want him to come on the plane back.
Yeah,
that was the word you used.
So you did a bigger flop than whenever he switched the Derrick Rose thing.
No, not that big.
But also, don't be surprised if Missouri's ranked in the college football poll this week. A lot of they overrate the SEC, and
every week.
I think it's proven Missouri's the second best team in the East. They lost to South Carolina, Kentucky by a combined 3 points, and they should have won the Kentucky game.
Yep.
Nothing else there. The rest of the SEC, Auburn goes on the road, beats A&M 28-24. Jimbo Fisher's like $100 million contract or whatever. That's starting to look good right now.
Looking
A&M's
fantastic.
5-4. Stidham had his best game of the year. He actually had time in the pocket. South Carolina beat Ole Miss 48-44. Shootout there. Mississippi State beating mighty Louisiana Tech 45-3. The most over 3 loss team, Mississippi State. They're gonna be like ranked 15th. They play Alabama next week.
Ooh, that's gonna be fun.
In the last game, Tennessee beat Charlotte 14-3.
Charlotte?
Yes, Jeremy Pruitt after the game said Charlotte was a good team on their level, and they're 4-5, 0-4 in Conference USA. So that's the state of the Tennessee.
I'm going to be honest. I didn't know Charlotte was a Division I football school.
They just got up there, I think, within the last 2 or 3 years.
Last couple of years. I remember Lamar Jackson put 7 touchdowns on them. Heisman year. I do remember that.
Yeah, that's probably the first year in the league.
But yeah, I didn't put Tennessee's drives. I did that a couple of times. Their second half drives, all punts.
Oh, punts.
Yeah.
Punts.
You know what? They need to start punting on third down, catch everybody off guard. Just,
Tom Brady.
Yeah.
I like that.
Quick punts or whatever they're called.
All right, the big national games this week. West Virginia goes into Texas, wins 42-41. They score with like 26 seconds left. Greer's Heisman moment, throwing probably the pass of the year.
It was insane.
I asked Chase, I think we were on Xbox or something. I said, did you see Will Greer shit on Texas's chest?
That was...
Well, how can you say that, but I can't say half the stuff I say? You're talking about pooping on somebody's chest?
And they go for the 2-point.
That's someone, a collective unit of people.
Oh, multiple people's chest.
They go for that 2-point conversion, which is awesome.
Yeah.
And it caused Herman to use both his timeouts. And they saw him throw a slant to Sills, so they dropped all their linebackers off. Runs a quarterback draw, walks in.
Yep.
That was insane.
I got a little more on Texas in a little bit. Notre Dame goes on the road, beats Northwestern by 10, 31-21.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The book looked really good, but I don't know. I wanted more.
That was...
They didn't cover the spread either.
Wasn't it like... It was like 10.
It was like 18, I think.
No, it was not. It was like
pretty
7.
high.
It was 7
It was high.
last week. It was not that.
I think it was 10.
No way.
It might have been 10.
It was like... It opened at 7. It was not 18.
It got up to like 30.
But that might be Notre Dame's most impactful one because this was like their first game on the road. They had a target on their back. Like,
Yeah.
Adversity.
Yeah.
You need some of that.
Book looked amazing.
Second half, he looked really good. And Northwestern made it a push late. They blocked a punt. Got interesting, but they pulled through. Book ran in that touchdown at the end. I like Notre Dame this year. They're really good. 3 games to the playoff. Home against Florida State. Versus Syracuse, who's ranked for some reason. They're going to be like up in the top 15 now.
Aren't they like 7-2 this year?
Yeah, but they're not good. They don't
No,
play.
Syracuse had a football team.
They're not good.
They beat Wake Forest this week, so you better watch out.
Oh, mighty Wake Forest.
Wake
What is
Forest
with these
a tank.
basketball schools being good at football all of a sudden?
You guess as good as mine.
Yeah, I don't know.
Kentucky's not good, but
Kansas is really good.
oh boy, that game's at Yankee Stadium also against Syracuse. I don't know why.
Oh, nice.
That's like they play that home game away from campus. They've been doing that for a few years now.
Yeah, it's
They
kinda
play
weird.
Like Fenway Park. I don't know. And they go to
That'd
USC.
work if they were a big school. People actually gave a shit.
Big football school, yeah.
And Northwestern, they can still win the Big Ten West with 2 wins in the next 3. They went 0-3 in non-conference play, losing to Duke, Akron, and Notre Dame. They could still win the Big Ten West, which would be good for Notre Dame and Michigan.
Yep.
Speaking of Michigan, 42-7 against Penn State at home.
Man, that's a statement right there.
They have outscored their opponents in the last 3 games, 101-27. All 3 opponents are ranked.
People were talking mad shit on Harbaugh at the beginning of the season, too.
sure.
I was
mad shit.
kind of part of that, but
So was I.
But since, again, the first quarter of the Notre Dame game, they've been arguably the best team outside of Alabama in the country, and they continuously just roll over their opponents just every facet. It's almost impossible to score on this team. Like it's.
What do you think the chances are they make the playoffs?
I think,
Oh,
are they in top
extremely
4 this
high.
week? They
Oh,
have to be,
without a
because
doubt.
LSU lost.
Without a doubt. But their problem is they lost to Notre Dame. So if Notre Dame can lose a game, they'll still get over Michigan. That's how much they value head to head, especially with the same amount of losses.
Yeah.
Like bar it being like Florida State wins by 50 like this week against Notre Dame. But outside of that,
I hope they make the playoffs, though. That's a really good team.
they are, and that's kind of crazy how week 1 it was Notre Dame, Michigan. They're probably gonna finish in the top
People
4.
going for
Yeah.
Harbaugh's head.
For real.
Some upsets this week. Herman Edwards and Arizona State.
I saw that. I almost bet on that game.
Down Utah. What on the earth? The Pac-12 South is in utter chaos. Every team has 3 losses, and Herman Edwards controls his destiny in the Pac-12.
Herm Edwards is coach of the year.
What?
Absolute mass chaos. Utah or Chip Kelly's in there. He has like 3. Everyone has 3 losses.
God.
Who knows who's winning that division? And the Pac-12 itself is just chaos. Purdue beats Iowa on a last-second field goal, 38-36.
Is Purdue still not ranked?
Well, I'm going to say about that. They're 3-0 against teams in the top 25 right now. Boston College, Iowa, and Ohio State, which is crazy. But I think there's probably what's going to happen is Purdue's going to be 25 and Missouri's going to be 24 because Missouri beat Purdue.
Yeah.
And they're both 5-4. So if Purdue gets ranked and Missouri doesn't get ranked, I don't think Missouri deserves to be ranked, but they should be ranked. Or they're a top 25 team.
But they shouldn't be ranked.
No, because they have 4 losses.
Right.
Like at ESPN's FPI, they're 15th. Missouri is.
Jeez.
Yeah, and that's I like the FPI because Kentucky's like 40 and they're not good. Syracuse is like 50.
What's Clemson? FBI.
Oh, 2 probably
Really?
without a doubt. Because when you win by there's a difference between not playing anybody and then
And winning by
winning
70,
77 to
yeah.
16, covering a 40-point spread in the first half.
Good Lord.
Yeah, they're second.
Yeah.
It goes Alabama, Clemson, Georgia, Michigan, Oklahoma. Notre Dame's at 8 in there.
Oh, well.
Who's
Behind.
Clemson play the rest of the season? Anybody?
Well,
No.
they play at Boston College this week.
Ooh, that should be interesting.
That might be an upset pick. We'll get to that.
Boston College? All right.
Maybe.
We'll see.
Pittsburgh beats Virginia. They control the ACC Coastal. That division sucks every single year. Pittsburgh nearly beat Notre Dame a few weeks back, but
Do
they
you
got.
remember
I don't remember that.
that? I do.
I'm blocking that out of my head.
I remember it.
But for some reason, Virginia was ranked. They lost to Indiana. That's just the community overrated the ACC.
There's another basketball school.
Yeah, well,
The Hoosiers?
No,
I don't.
Virginia.
They lost to UMBC. So.
Virginia.
They said Indiana.
No.
Hold on, did you see the UMBC put up the banner for beating Virginia?
Yeah, what the?
Why not?
Come on, man.
What?
That's awesome.
Stop it.
Oh,
Celebrate it.
I won 1 game.
Yeah, I like that.
the
Get
biggest
outta here with
biggest
that.
upset in tournament history.
That's up there with
That's the only thing that school's
That's
done.
up there with the national championship BS.
That is.
I'm just making stuff up to put in my gym.
Caleb, I'm telling you right now, if I played baseball against Kershaw and I hit a home run off him, that was the only hit I've ever had in my life, guess what I'm doing? I'm framing that damn ball, I'm shoving that bat up my ass, and I'm walking around proud with that thing.
All right, the near upsets this week. There's a few of them. UCF gave up 40 to Temple. They won 52-40.
National champs.
The defending national champions. They have 0 shot making the playoff.
Thank God. I hope they lose. I hate hearing that team.
I think they're going to lose.
Most annoying team.
I think they're.
They're not even anything. Everybody compares them to that Boise State. I thought that Boise State team was better than them.
The best non-power team was TCU a few years back with Andy Dalton.
Yeah,
They
I remember
rolled
that.
everybody, and they beat Wisconsin in a Rose Bowl. But outside of that,
They were good for a while with Trayvon Boykin too, weren't they?
oh yeah, but they were in
Yeah.
the Big 12 then.
Yeah.
But
Oh yeah.
like they were in the Mountain
Yeah.
West when Andy Dalton.
That was so cool to watch. Yeah, Boise State, TCU.
Yeah, those teams.
They're
UCF.
killing it.
They have Josh Heupel as their coach, and Mizzou offensive coordinator the last 2 years. They look exactly like Mizzou. They can't stop anybody. They throw deep. They run like quick string. It looks like Missouri. It's kind of weird. I haven't sat down and watched a UCF game. I did last Thursday night. They're really overrated.
Yeah. Go
All
ahead.
right, Oklahoma edged out Texas Tech 51-46, a late night shootout. Tech was up 31-28 at the half, and then Alan Bowman, the next Patrick Mahomes, I've already labeled him that like from week 1, but the true freshman, leaves the game for an unknown reason. He was on the sideline. They thought he got hit in the head with a football,
What?
and then they think he re-aggravated his collapsed lung injury. So no one really knows what happened, but. Oklahoma got like a pick 2 later in the game. They took back a 2-point conversion to mess up the score.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah.
Kyler Murray 460 total yards, 4 touchdowns.
Did you
That's a
see
decent
the
day.
Tua's Heisman odds? It's like
probably
minus 1,000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good lord. Well, he threw his first pick.
Just saying, Missouri held them to the lowest completion percentage. They had the most sacks.
Here
on
we
him.
go.
Most sacks on
Mizzou college
Hey,
football playoff team.
Hey, they score more than LSU.
Yeah,
Wasn't the
well,
thing we
you're
said
right
is
about
I
that.
can't talk about Notre Dame, Andrew can't talk about Mizzou? Unbiased.
I don't
We talk about Notre Dame every
Shut
week.
up.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Did you hear
Shut
my
up.
rant about Mizzou? I trashed the whole program.
Which one?
I've had a couple.
Well, I'm sure if Notre Dame was losing, I'd be trashing it too.
Absolutely. That's what we do.
I'm gonna trash Ohio State. They
Right,
won
right.
36-31 against Nebraska, who's like 2-8.
Nebraska, yeah, one of the worst teams in college football.
Ohio State is a mess. They play.
You think Urban's going to stay there or no?
I don't know.
What if he gets a
I
head
don't think
coach in the
they're
NFL job?
Brownies.
The Browns. Oh man.
That would be the greatest shit show that ever happened.
Brownies.
Hard Knocks
Baker
2.0.
Mayfield and Urban Meyer.
Yeah.
After Baker Mayfield planted the flag on his home
Oh
field.
man. He'd probably bench him.
I'm
Just-
still on my Urban Meyer to USC type of thing. That could be a thing.
Oh yeah, I could.
That could be
definitely-
a thing.
Yeah, he would fit right in with USC.
You don't
those
think he
damn
wants to go to the
Trojans.
NFL?
I don't know. I think he'll go wherever he gets a big contract because he's a piece of shit.
Yeah, he's not great. Washington State, they win 19-13 over Cal. They're
Washington
still,
State's a really good team.
they're good. Their quarterback, I didn't know this about him, Gardner Minshew. He was at East Carolina the last couple of years. I knew he
really?
was a transfer. He was about to just retire and be an Alabama on their coaching staff, like be a grad assistant. He then got like a last-minute offer from Mike Leach of Washington State, and he is tearing it up right now.
Good for him. That's a great story.
That's an awesome story.
Yeah.
They're the only one-loss team in the Pac-12. But with the Pac-12 is the only they're probably in it with 4. So hopefully they're on pace for the Rose Bowl. That'd be cool for that program.
Yeah.
Boston College, they went 31-21 at Virginia Tech. They host college game next week. Clemson comes to
Clemson,
town.
man.
That's
We'll see.
the only ranked versus ranked. Actually, there's 2. Alabama plays Mississippi State, but that's probably the best game of the week. The play/player of the week, Hakeem Butler from Iowa State. He had probably the greatest catch I've ever seen in college football, or the greatest play. He mossed a Kansas receiver and then threw him about like 5 yards off him. I don't know if you guys saw that.
I did not.
I put a link in here so you can check that out later. But he like
Oh,
then
Luke's pulling it up for me. Holy shit.
oh yeah, and then he throws him like 6 yards off him, gets into the end zone. He had 5 catches,
That's some front
164 yards, 2 touchdowns. He's a great receiver for Iowa State. If they win out and Oklahoma beats West Virginia on Black Friday, they will go to the Big 12 championship game. They're a really under the radar program. Matt Campbell's doing a good job there.
Wow.
Old Toledo coach. Also from that game, Kansas announces they'll fire David Beat at the end of the year. Les Miles is the top replacement I've seen.
Whoa.
I can 100% see that happening.
For Kansas?
Yes.
Wow.
Les Miles. I can see it. He wants
Okay.
to coach again.
Is my earphones messed up or something? What the hell did you just say? Les Miles to
Well,
Kansas?
What other jobs? Les Miles, he's not getting a job at like LSU caliber again. He's gonna have to take a step back, like Chip Kelly.
What if we're
That's
Urban Miles?
interesting. What if they're
He's
good?
not. Ohio State's not gonna get Les Miles.
What if they could be good?
That's what I'm saying.
That'd
Les
be
Miles
really
has a chance to go to Kansas. If he turns him into a bowl team, that's
Oh
like
my God. That's,
Kansas has been shit
should
since
win a-
early
should
2000s
win a
when they had
Nobel
that
Prize.
fat marshmallow man as the coach.
Mangino.
Mangino, man, he was killing it.
He was a good coach, but they've been bad since.
He got caught with like paying players and shit or something.
just like everybody else.
Who was he paying at Kansas?
Yeah, that's a good point.
I hope.
Ten to
I hope.
team.
Hey, I hope Missouri ain't paying players because we suck. But
they're paying the wrong guys.
My top 10, Alabama's 1, Notre Dame 2, Michigan 3, Clemson 4, Oklahoma, Georgia 5, 6, West Virginia, Washington State, Ohio State 7, 8, 9. UCF is at 10 because I don't know who else is supposed to be there. I thought about putting Syracuse, Kentucky, Florida.
Big shaft to UCF.
I don't know who else is supposed to be
Bunch
there.
of douchebags in
I
Florida.
could have put
anyways.
Missouri there or something, or Purdue.
Purdue. You should have put Purdue.
A couple
That would've been
thoughts
great.
on the initial college football rankings. ACC and SEC are overrated big time. ACC had 5 teams ranked. I do not know how. They had 4 in Clemson's division. Virginia, Boston College is good though. They're a good team. But like NC State, they suck. I don't know. That's messed up. The SEC, they had the highest ranked undefeated team Alabama, 1 loss LSU, highest ranked 2 loss team Florida, and 3 loss team Mississippi State. Like that's like Florida was not the 11th best team in the country. They
Yep.
lost by 21 to Missouri, who hadn't had a conference win.
Yep.
The best games next week: Ohio State goes to Michigan State. I wouldn't say upset alert there. Michigan State's been bad, or not bad, but they struggle throwing the ball.
Not
We'll
good.
just say that. Mississippi State goes to Alabama. I think Alabama's 25-point favorites. So
Think they cover the spread?
without doubt. Northwestern goes to Iowa. Big Ten West game. Washington State at Colorado. I don't want to say up. That might be an upset alert. Might watch out for that. Florida State goes to Notre Dame. Texas goes to Texas Tech. Texas Tech is favored in that game against Texas.
Wow.
I'd probably take the Longhorns there. Clemson at Boston College. The last game there. Locks of the week. Missouri is a 14.5 underdog against Vanderbilt. Missouri blows out bad teams. Vanderbilt's a bad team.
They're favorite. They're 14th favorite.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
That misspeak.
You said underdog. I was like, what?
Oh, man.
Like, I'm about to make that bet now.
Yeah. Like,
You're about to-
sign me up.
Hookie, where you
They're
at?
14.5-point favorites. They whooped them last year by, it was like 35-0.5. They're covered without a doubt.
Jeez.
Purdue on the road, Minnesota, 12.5-point favorites. And Minnesota just fired their D coordinator, just gave up 55 to Illinois. Lovey Smith,
What?
the beard. So,
Man, that's definitely not working out in Illinois.
Lovey-dovey.
Good old Lovey.
Yeah.
He couldn't get that Bears job, so he just got the Illini job.
So-
Worst decision of his life.
Purdue big there. Upsets of the week are covers. Navy's going to cover 25.5 against UCF. Navy is 2-7, but UCF can't stop a nosebleed, so Navy will be able to stay within 4 scores. 3 scores, 4 scores, whatever that is.
3 scores.
Tennessee is 3.5-point underdogs against Kentucky. Tennessee is going to win this game. Why, I have no idea. Kentucky's bad. Tennessee is very bad, but
What? So, wait.
I have a gut feeling
Love it.
Tennessee wins this game.
You just woke up one morning and you're like,
Kentucky just had their Super Bowl against Georgia. They got whooped and they realized they suck. We're going to travel to Tennessee. And that's what's going to
I
happen.
love
Nothing
it.
like waking
Hot
up in the
take.
morning
How
and just
about
be
this?
like, hey, we
I
suck.
have a reason behind this. Boston College, 17.5-point underdogs. They're going to beat Clemson this week.
Okay.
Okay.
I like it.
Here's a couple of reasonings.
I'm not taking this bet.
I would not bet on it. I'm just going to put this out there because if I'm right, I look like a genius.
It says
Hey,
super
that's
dog.
it. You know what? That's
It
why
says
we have
super
hot
dog.
dog.
But first of all, my upset pick, I've had Purdue over Ohio State, Kansas over TCU, and then West Virginia. They were only 1 point, but West Virginia over Texas. That's 3 weeks in a row. Going for 4 with this Boston College pick.
I think it's getting to your head.
Well,
You turned into me, Andrew. You
Clemson,
turned
it's
into
a
the
long
villain.
trip up to Boston College. It's probably going to be 30 degrees at game time. Boston College runs the ball well. They stop the run. Clemson was outpassed this week against Louisville. They were outpassed.
Oh, wow. That's not
They
good.
They beat them by 60, but they were outpassed. And also, my last reasoning is the last time there was 2 Power 5 undefeateds going to the postseason was Auburn and Oregon when Cam Newton was playing.
Wow.
Every single year, there's only been 0 or 1. Alabama's not losing, so that means Clemson has to lose. So they're going to lose this week to Boston College. But they also lose their chance to go to the ACC championship also if they lose this game.
And the playoff.
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
Hot take.
So that
Love it.
That is it right there. Some other thoughts. College basketball starts tomorrow. Champions Classic.
It's going to be good. I'm kind of excited.
Who's in that?
I think Duke's in it.
Michigan State plays Kansas. Kansas is ranked first. Michigan State 10th. Duke and Kentucky.
Yeah. I don't care about anybody but Duke.
Is Oregon in it? I want to
Oregon.
watch Oregon this year.
Bowl.
Of course,
Bowl,
man.
bowl.
That's my boy.
Other
Anybody
games
over
week.
7 foot that can dribble the ball.
Florida
like.
goes to Florida State Tuesday night. North Carolina tries to avenge their loss at Wofford. I don't know why they're going to Wofford, but that they are doing that.
This is one of those things we talk about in football. Don't do this.
You're setting yourself up.
Yeah,
for failure.
there's no reason for this.
I don't know why
We're testing our guys.
It's just it's
We're
nothing.
testing the Wofford
There's
crowd.
no.
We're testing the Wofford crowd. They're going to be popping. Where the hell's Wofford even at?
I think it's in North Carolina, isn't it?
They're not going to leave the state of North
Yeah,
Carolina. So.
I think it's in North Carolina.
Nevada, they're supposed to be good this year. They play BYU. Other
Nevada
games,
is, I think Nevada.
other games this week, Washington and Auburn. That's a top 25 matchup. Auburn, they bring a lot of guys back. Bruce Pearl, they're pretty.
They're going to be good.
And
I
Missouri,
think.
game 1 or game 2, they play like
Yikes.
Central Arkansas.
Missouri's going to be bad.
They go to Iowa State. That game's not on TV. I don't know why. I don't know why that's not televised.
Missouri, Iowa State.
That's decent.
Yeah.
It was good last year.
I'll take a W.
Yeah, but no
I'll take a
Porters.
WNBA
No
game.
Porters
over
this
that.
year.
WNBA game.
We're minus Porters.
Give me the Sparks against the
That's
Wings.
a nightmare. But couple other things. Bryce Harper, I don't know where he's going. I think it's going to be someone off the radar though. That's just.
We were saying, I think Phillies are Cubs.
I said Phillies.
Why would he want to go to Philly? That's
Because
my
Philly's got a lot of money, and I feel like he
Chiefs.
doesn't care about it.
The young
If
team.
that's it. That's a perfect spot for him.
Yeah,
but
they got a lot of money. I
like,
think they're going to offer the
If
most.
I'm him, I just stay in Hawaii.
I can't wait to see the Cardinals lowball him, though. You know what's going to happen.
It's going to come out.
You
like-
know what? I think you're about a $210 million player. I think, but hey, Cardinal way.
He just looks.
We got Stubby Clapp and Chlamydia as our third base coach. We got the Cardinal way. We can turn you into a prospect, even though you already hit 40 home runs.
He just looked into Mazalek's eyes and was like, "What? Like,
the Cardinal way.
what are you
Are you
saying?
serious, sir?
Cardinal
Also-
Schmardnell.
Le'Veon Bell tweeted. I saw this at the last minute. He tweeted like, "Farewell Miami. Please
yeah.
do not. I love Le'Veon Bell. He's my favorite player in the NFL. Please do not come back. I have James Conner in 2 fantasy leagues. I do not need you coming back. I don't know if you will even play. Just don't come back." And my last 2 college football things. C.C. Jefferson, a Florida defensive lineman.
See?
He said this year's SEC media days, they got blown out by Missouri. What made it difficult? He said there was no crowd, it was cold, and it was quiet. It made you think. Well, Florida had a very small crowd than expected this week at the Swamp for their homecoming game, and he had 1 tackle, so I think it was a shame. It was awfully quiet, and it was hard to play there at Florida.
Jeez.
And Corey
Swamps.
Fatone, the Missouri punter, also said it was nice because it was quiet. And
It's getting quiet in the swamp?
Missouri doing the Gator chomp was also a nice
Shots.
And the last thing, Tom Herman. When Will Greer ran the 2-point conversion, he kind of stuck the ball out over the goal line, kind of little taunt,
Yeah.
did the hook 'em horns down, and then he said, I'm going to make sure I say this correctly. This is what he said. I thought taunting before you cross the goal line negated a score. I've got to brush up on my rules and get some questions answered. Okay. Tom Herman, this is the same guy last year who him and Sam Ehlinger mocked Drew Locke's backpack locked-in celebration at the end of the bowl game. Tom Herman, you can suck it. It's straight. Sam Ehlinger, you
can get.
That's what I like to hear right
Tom
there.
Herman, you're
Andrew's jumping on the hot take clan. He's saying big dog in the thing, and now he's telling people to
you
suck
are the
it.
head coach of the University of Texas, and you're mocking Drew Lock, a college kid. Get out of here. And get out of here with the taunting before the goal line. Get out of here.
How about you win the game?
Go
How
win the
about
game. You go beat Maryland.
You play to win the game.
Go beat Maryland. You lost them 2 years in a row.
Maryland.
Go
Play
beat Maryland.
to
Don't.
win the game.
Yeah.
Maryland,
Herm
that's it.
Edwards ain't doing that.
I'm biting my tongue because we're live on Twitch.
Herm
Not going to
Edwards is
say the
winning
Maryland
football.
joke.
Herm Edwards is winning football games. Not very many, but
Who would have guessed between Lovie Smith and Herm Edwards? Herm Edwards was better. Would you?
What
have been able
year
to
is
guess?
it?
It's
Would
honestly,
you?
it's
Hold on.
honestly fascinating. Like, that's,
It's amazing.
it's awesome.
like, are
It's
we in
fun
some
to watch.
parallel college football universe?
Literally every single John Gruden, Lovie Smith, all these guys that take time off and go back, it just is horrible.
feel like in
Herm
5
Edwards
years-
wasn't even that good of an NFL coach, and now he's lighting it up.
I
in
feel
the
like in
Pac-12.
5 years, Hugh Jackson's going to be coaching Bowling Green or something.
And
We're gonna be
Bowling Green's
what's
going to
going
go
on?
10-2 with.
Bowling Green national champs, the
Yeah.
UCF way.
I can't
man.
wait.
That's
All
the
right,
last
that's
thing.
it.
Tom Herman, you can suck it. That's
All
all I
right,
gotta say.
spread the word, Bryce Harper.